Welcome to the Epic Success Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Shannon Irvin, and I have two incredible human beings with me today. I have Gina and I have Angela. Both are certified Master NeuroCoach instructors. Like, they are just incredible people that are teaching the neurocoaches how to coach and how to build a profitable business. And so welcome to the podcast, both of you.
Hello.
Hi, Shannon.
So we're just going to have a conversation today. I wanted to bring them on to just talk about what they've seen. I'm going to share a little bit of what I've seen over the years as we've had the certification, as we've watched people come in. It's usually a couple different types of people, either somebody who's never coached or just barely getting started and they want to learn to coach the right way and also to grow a business. Start and grow a business. And then we have others who are professionals and they've been coaching and they've been in it for a while, but they're really wanting that competitive advantage. They're wanting to really be assured that they're coaching the right way, getting transformational results, and then they're wanting to scale. So that's usually the two different groups of people who come in to be certified. And you guys have been instructing now. It's been a year now, right?
Close to it, yes.
Close to a year now. And they both were at one point in the neurocoaching certification and went all the way to the master level of the certification. So let's kind of start there. Gina, what made you want to dive into get certified? And then we'll tell the story of how you went from that to an instructor on our team.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, Dr. Shannon, I've been listening to you for a while, and I knew based on everything that I was hearing from you, I told myself even before the certification program existed, as soon as Dr. Shannon opens a certification program, I'm in. So as soon as I heard it, I was in. Filled out my application, jumped in, knew it was what I wanted because of your teaching, your methodologies, and the science. Yeah. And I've even heard you say it, the science behind the woo, the brain science, and actually tapping into how the brain already works, right? What we're already doing. And so using it to support our goals and our vision. So I was in, and then when there's the opportunity to go even deeper to that master level, of course, I'm already here. Of course I'm in. Of course I'm in. So that's really what pulled me in. And to be able to apply it, to be able to go through the transformation myself and truly see how powerful and how deep the changes are, as opposed to white knuckling my way through things, that of course I'm in. And so of course, that is what helped me with my clients.
Talk a little bit about that. What was the biggest shift that you saw with your own clients and just even in your own life? And we promise we'll talk about all the behind the scenes of the neurocoaching certification, but I'd love for you to hear from their hearts because this is who's leading our neurocoaches. So yeah, I'd love for you to share, like, once you really got the model and practiced the model and you started applying it in your own business, what kind of shifts did you see?
So one of the biggest, this is interesting because I call it my biggest shift, but it was also like in a very subtle way. When you do the work of the neurocoaching model, when I was doing it on myself, going coaching through it myself, it's almost like it's happening behind the scenes, right? You're working on it. You're very aware that you're working on it, but it's happening behind the scenes and subtly. And it is like one day you look and you're like, I feel really differently about what that thing that used to bother me, right? Yeah. And that thing for me was my money story.
Yeah.
Like to be embarrassed about what money I made or what I didn't make, right? And the number almost didn't matter. It was like, okay, so how much am I bringing in or how much am I not bringing in? What am I doing with the money? To just talk about it, even with my husband, Dr. Shannon, like even that was a thing, right? And so as I was doing the work and applying it, I realized, oh, I know I heard it a million times that money is neutral. And now I get it. Now I feel it. Now my brain gets it. That to me was huge, huge, huge difference for me. And I knew at that point, I'm like, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one out there with that story.
Yeah.
As well. So that was powerful for me.
Yeah. And did that create a different lens in which you approached your clients at that point? Like, did that shift things for you with your clients?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For one, I wasn't buying their stories anymore.
Yeah.
Right. I was not going to buy the story around the money story for them anymore, which helped me really hold their vision sacred, would help me really see and stand up for them. It helped me really hold the space for them, right? And show them how they can hold their own vision sacred.
Yeah.
And not buy into those stories.
Yeah.
themselves.
And of course, fast tracks their results, right? Because when you don't advocate for the belief that's holding you back, you actually start getting some momentum. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
My one-on-one clients, wasn't it interesting how creative they were getting with their business, how they were opening up to receiving help, how they were opening up to just receiving things and seeing things in a different light and trying new things. Right. And not falling for that first little resistance of being scared to not try things. So.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. It's incredible. Angela, I would love for you to share too, like what got you into wanting to be certified and just kind of what's transpired since then, how you've seen it take flight in your own life and business.
Yeah. Like Gina, when I heard that there was the certification, I was an immediate heck yeah. There was like no question about it. You and I had met in another group, and I had already done a lot of the personal development and all of those kinds of things, and just wasn't getting the results that I wanted, right? I mean, I was even part of leadership team for really big name people and doing coaching with them and doing my own coaching and speaking at events and things. And I was starting to study the neuroplasticity aspect. I read a couple of books about it and was doing my own thing. And then I heard you talk to what you were doing with Epic Success. And so I thought, I need to do this. I need to do this Epic Success thing. And so I went through that. And then when you started talking about the NeuroCoaching certification program, like I said, I was an absolute heck yeah, because of the results that I had already gotten through Epic Success. I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what it is. I want to do this because I know what the program did for me. And I want to be able to replicate this out in the market, whether I'm speaking in front of a group of people or coaching someone, right? I want to be able to get those same results that I had gotten.
Wow. Very cool.
And so, it was a complete no-brainer.
And then now she's a certified Master NeuroCoach Instructor, and as Gina is as well. So now that you've been doing this for a while in your own business, and then we'll talk about with our clients in the NeuroCoaching certification. What was like the one thing that you saw, or one or two, whatever, that you saw shift in how you were coaching and how the transformations that were happening on the other side?
Yeah, getting really clear on, because of the way I grew up, I recognized stories and I recognized, I was real aware of what was going on around me, but I didn't understand what I was aware of.
Right.
And it worked out for me. It helped me survive a lot of things and then thrive through a lot of things. But now it's more consistent in the thriving and not just surviving, because I understand what's going on and I'm able to talk to that without, because one of the things I was guilty of before, I would call people out on what it was that I was seeing in them.
Yeah.
And they weren't ready to be called out. But going through this, I learned, okay, they don't even realize what's happening.
Mm-mm.
And so, being able to kind of throttle that back and then be able to communicate with them on a deeper level
Yeah.
that helps them see what's going on in their own mind.
Yeah.
That is priceless.
Yeah.
That's priceless.
Yeah. Because they own it at that point versus, being independent. And so we've been part of the neurocoaching certification is having amazing, talented coaches like Gina and like Angela kind of hold your hand and walk you through the process. So let's kind of talk about some of the things that we've seen, some of the successes that we've seen, some of the businesses. I think of one person in particular, and we won't use names because we want to make sure that we're protecting their personal information, but I can picture one that, is just really, she was going all in. She learned all the knowledge, right? So we take people through, transform people. So you take it through yourself, and then we teach you the model, and then we help you master the model. And then and the whole time we're helping you grow your business. And there's a huge business component because, as you guys know, coaches launch differently or should be launching differently. And that's why so many coaches are struggling. But I remember she was launching, she was doing those things, but she was kind of on that treadmill of this is how everybody else has always done it. And there was this story, this fear again around money and around worth attached to that. So as she's really growing, like anybody looking in would have said, oh, she's very successful. But she had this thing throttling her, right? Just throttling her. And she was doing enough that she could feel safe and take a minor risk, right? So we were able to kind of neurocoach her through that. And she took a big leap of faith and tripled her business overnight. And that was so fun to watch her go through that and then let that light bulb come on. And then how she's leaned into coaching her clients. I think our vibe always attracts who comes in, right? And so it's fun to watch her really attract the people that almost have a similar story or a similar challenge in their way, and watching her kind of helping through the neurocoaching model, neutralize and erase those, and creating all the success has been kind of fun. Does a story of anybody particular come to your mind that you've been with and watched, Gina, that you'd like to share? Just a little bit about where they came from and what you saw in the process.
Well, I'm thinking of somebody in particular that I have had the opportunity to work a little bit closer with her as well, as far as coaching and the neurocoaching, and her shift within such like a span of under 6 months, really, but somewhere between the 4 and 6 months, went from, I don't know if I could be a good coach, to first client, first membership group.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can imagine the shifts that had to happen for her to get there. Yeah. But talk about fast tracking. Mm-hmm. Talk about fast tracking because of everything that happened. She went through the neurocoaching, gained the confidence, knew she had the tools. Obviously it worked for her, right? Kind of like what I was saying earlier about me. It worked on her for her transformation. Now she was wanting to share this and put this out in the world, and she's making it happen.
Wow. Powerful. Such a short transition of time to go from like zero, no business, I don't even know if I can do this, to launch, to client, to membership. And she's scaling. I know exactly what you're talking about, which is really, really fun. How about you, Angela? Any story specifically pop to mind of that you've seen through the last little bit?
Yeah, I've been so fortunate to work with a couple of the cohorts now, and I have a lot of stories. Like, how do you pick just one?
I know, right?
One that I can think of, she already had a business that was in place, and she was doing well with her launches, and she was in the 4 or 5 figure launch range regularly. And we kept working on these things, right? And now she's 6-figure launches consistently. And the stuff that she's doing with her clients, because of what we've done in the neurocoaching, that she's implementing with her clients is also getting her clients those results.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about a lot of women. We also have men.
Yes, we do.
Who have done amazing things. And I can think of one that he completely changed what his focus was.
Yeah.
And went from a hands-on type healing environment to one where he's now coaching people. And it has been so fantastic to see his transformation from not having the confidence to be that coach,
right,
to now he's one of the people who speaks up regularly in the cohort and is, you know, constantly saying, you know, you've got this. And he's coaching his small group. And, you know, it's just phenomenal to see how far he has come in such a short period of time. This is someone who really just started in January.
Wow, that's super fast.
Right. So yeah, it's really incredible when people come in and they do the work.
Yeah.
They do the work and they focus on the process. They trust the process. They lean in for themselves first.
Right.
And then for their business.
Yeah.
That's where the biggest shifts come in, when they do it for themselves first. And then the business.
Yeah, that's what I love. You know, when we founded this certification, the two things I saw out in the marketplace was first of all, certifications kind of pay to play, not teaching people how to coach. People were getting these certifications and they were going out into the marketplace and honestly causing more harm for individuals. I really believe that there is a right and wrong way to coach. I'm going to stand on that powerfully because I know how our brain is wired. So I know the damage that can be done by just telling somebody to try harder, or just telling somebody just do what I did, when not methodology wise, but like just think this way and it'll all work out. But you know, your networks in your brain aren't the same as somebody else's. And so they go off, try to do that. And then they feel they're worse off than they were, you know, an hour ago. They were inspired and and lots of motivation. But as soon as that atrophied and they actually had to use their own thinking brain, it wasn't wired the same way. And then they feel worse. And so that really angers me. Like it really angers me because I feel like you shouldn't put up the shingle of coach unless you really know the science of transformation and you really understand how a brain wires success and failure and worth and money stories and all those things, and how ridiculously simple it is. I'm not saying easy, but simple, step by step to neuroplasticity, as you said, Angela, you know, being able to build a success pathway and neutralizing and erasing those things that have held people back for generations. And knowing that you can help somebody get their own transformation is an empowered place to coach from, because it's not really about you and how good am I? It's about, I just need to help them get to this place and follow this process. And once we do that, they're going to discover it. They're going to transform, and you've empowered your client, which is really, as coaches, what we should be doing. It shouldn't be this, now I got to come back to my coach for another dose of motivation. And so there's a lot of broken models out there. So there was that. But then the other side of things is there's a lot of broke coaches. There's a lot of coaches that give away their coaching for free. And I'm sorry, I don't agree in that. I don't believe in that. And, you know, I believe that transformation starts with a transaction, because you can look at all the free things you've done in your life and how many of those are you still doing, right? Versus the things you've invested in. And so, and one of our passions at our business is really helping people build real businesses, real coaching businesses, like legit businesses that go from one to one to many to launches, if that's what your desire is, but grow a business. So those two components are really important to have in the certification to me, because I feel like if you just teach somebody how to coach, then you have an extremely well-trained hobbyist, which is not what we want. Or if you just teach somebody business, and a lot of times I see this with a lot of coaches out there chasing marketing strategies and tactics and all these things that don't actually help coaches launch well. And then they're so busy marketing and so busy selling, and they're doing it in a way that people that need to be coached really can't hear, that they're struggling and they can't quite get to where they want. And they're not focusing on the transformation. So the people that they do get aren't getting those breakthroughs. And so when you powerfully combine these two things, I think it really sets a coach up for learning the right way to coach and growing the business that they want, right? Not just mimicking someone else's business to discover that that's a nightmare when they wake up to it being successful, but like enjoying it. I'd love for you to talk about, like, in your experience, because now you're coaching these coaches, where do you see the most powerful breakthroughs, first in their own transformation, but then also in their business transformation? I'm curious, like, what moments have you stood out to you where they really get that momentum going?
I can I've seen how it works in the cohort. I can think of a couple people or a few people where you can see the confidence start increasing, developing. These people are already coaching. They've already been coaching for a while. However, they implement these tools, and like we said, on themselves, they get it on this deeper level. The confidence builds, and that's what opens the door to try new things, try different things. And I've seen groups fill up. I've seen renewals and re-upping like crazy.
In their own businesses, right?
In their own businesses. Yeah. I mean, that speaks volumes to me.
And I love that. One of the things I love about what we do is the practicums and the practice. Like, from day one, we're like, no, I know you don't know the model. I know it's not second nature, but we're going to have you practicing it, because there's a difference between head knowledge and what I call heart knowledge or applied knowledge. There's a difference between trying to, like, remember versus like embodying, like, the memory of, like, I know exactly how this works. Angela, what about you? What stands out to you in your experience?
Yeah, one of the things, I'm so glad that you brought this up, Shannon, because one of the things that really drives me crazy with so many of the programs out there is they're creating mini me's.
Oh yeah, no.
And we are so not about creating mini me's. When you look across the different industries that our people are in, there's real estate, there's health, there's life coaching, there's, education. There's so many different fields that people are taking this and then using it in their own businesses. And one of the things that I love seeing is when they have gotten enough confidence to understand that it's their framework that makes the difference.
Yes.
These tools are great to use, but it's their framework that makes the difference. And once they get that confidence to use their own framework and then weave this in so that they get even greater results for their clients. Holy cow. It is exponential what then happens for them.
Oh my gosh.
And I've seen it over and over and over.
I love that you said that, because that's, again, we always create based on, as entrepreneurs, based on what you're seeing that's not working in the marketplace. And I see that, like you just said, mini me's. And at the end of the day, I want people coaching out of their power. Yes, knowing the neurocoaching model, because then you 100% will get the transformation. But then what's that secret sauce, that thing that you bring to the table? Somebody who's been coaching for a while might know that. Somebody who hasn't coached at all might not yet. But as they, like you said, their confidence unfolds and they know that they're going to get a transformation, they're allowed to kind of spread their wings and say, like, okay, well, what's my secret sauce? Because, when we teach how their vibe attracts their tribe. And so there's no such thing really as competition, even though you see a lot of coaches. So I love it that they end up empowered. And that is one of the main goals of the certification, is fully stepping into that calling so that they can create legacy level results. Right. One of the things though, and I know that you guys both agree, but I'd love to hear your take on it, is the community that is created when you get in a room full of driven individuals who really want to make a difference in the world, want to create a legacy, want to create an impact, want to create profit, that helps their life become something better than it used to be, and the support around it. I'd love for you guys to share just your take on the community itself, because I could sit here and say it's the best community in the entire world. And I've been in a lot of entrepreneurial communities, and I am head over heels in love with ours. So Gina, I would love for you to, what's been your take on the community? How's it helped you? And then how have you seen the community really show up for people as neurocoaching?
Yeah. So the fact that we've all gone through this, or are going through the same neurocoaching system and education and learning, and got certified or are being certified, it's so powerful because we just cut through there's no superficial layers, right? Because now we know how to listen to each other, and now we know how to support each other.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's making me, as if I go in the group and I post something or communicate with somebody, I already know to kind of check myself.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm checking myself.
Check it so you don't wreck it.
Yeah, I'm going to communicate with all these coaches, all these amazing coaches that are ready to support me. Right. And I know that going in. So it has made me more responsible for sure. Right. And I also know I'm going to get the loving care support from them as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I know they're going to help me think of other perspectives or other angles and ask me the right questions. And then likewise, right? Like we all get to support each other. We all get to celebrate each other.
Yeah.
We all get that. We all get how important all these components are. So we are truly there for each other. And I love that it's global, right? I love that it's everywhere. So at any point, at any time, there's somebody there. There's somebody there to support you. So yeah.
I love it. And then I don't know about you, I've been in groups where, and this is not our culture, where we don't create this culture of whiners or, a culture of I'm struggling. Yes, you can talk about your struggle, but like Gina said, it's going to be in the context of your vision. We're always going to hold your vision, sometimes higher than you do. And that's the community has just been so powerful to not hold space for you to go backwards. Hold space for you as a human is to be in the human experience. Like right now, we got on the call and the first thing that Gina and Angela both said to me was how are you doing? Because I'm going through my dad in the hospital, we're moving. I've got a team member that's also in the hospital. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on right now. And, how are you doing? But our conversation was around my thinking, depends on the moment, but I have to bring it back into what I can control and be the creator of my thoughts. And because we have that shared knowledge and experience, it allows us to speak in transformational language. So I don't stay enrolled. And haven't you ever experienced that where you've been in a group and somebody enrolls somebody and how hard it is. And then everybody's jumping in and going, oh yeah, this is so hard. And they're not getting anywhere, but that doesn't exist within this group. It's this kind of lift up. And also a lot of us, we don't, so in our normal daily lives, we don't have people that get us, right? When you try to explain what you do, people are like, you what, and so this is a room you can be in and you feel seen and known and heard and you don't have to go through all that. So Angela, I'd love for you to share your experience too with the community and then how you've seen the community support the neurocoaching certification clients.
Yeah. Very similar to Gina. I mean, I know that when I'm showing up, I get to show up.
Yeah.
There's no hiding. I get to show up. And I know that when I do show up, that there will be support there. One of the several beautiful things that I have seen within the community is how members within the neurocoaching have helped each other out.
Yeah.
Where being on each other's summits.
Yes. So cool.
Supporting each other in building their businesses. A couple of folks who are doing health related, movement stuff, they bring some of the neurocoaching people in and use them as examples of things that are going on. And, so it's been this very supportive environment. The other thing that I think is really, really cool is that, so often when you go into a program, there's a group that is set up just for your group.
Yeah.
that have just gone through together.
Yeah.
The beauty of this is that you get put into the group with all of the people who have already been through the neurocoaching and going through the
Yeah.
neurocoaching certification. So you have these people who are ahead of you and behind you
Yep.
inside the group, that some of them you're pulling toward them, you're reaching out for them, and then others you're reaching behind and pulling them up with you.
Yeah.
So there's this whole camaraderie that goes on. And I mean, there's even things where different small groups are scheduling their own little Zoom rooms and
Yeah.
having monthly meetings together. And, so it's just really great to see a true sense of community. There's a lot of places out there that talk about community.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's just a Facebook group.
It's a
This
promotional
is
group or whatever.
community,
Yeah.
right? It's true community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, coaching, it's one of those things that really has legacy. It has impact. I mean, these are human lives. We talk about the fact, we go deep in the coach lunch formula about how getting even somebody to say yes to coaching is a very vulnerable thing. And that's why coaches should launch differently, right? And so being able to say, I need help, I'm not where I want to be, or I have this goal, but I can't quite get there myself, is what we get to do, whether you're a life coach, a business coach, a health coach, an educational coach, all the different niches that we have in the fold. And that's one of the things I love about the community too, because as a business owner, I'm always reading. Like, I'm looking over here, my stack of books that I'm reading right now. And I'm always reading outside of the entrepreneurial, like CEO stuff and different corporations, because you don't want to get caught in this homogenous thinking, right? You want to get challenged and you want to see what works over here, what works over here. And in the community, you're saying, wow, I didn't think about that in education. I could see how that would work within my program. Or you're like, oh, I didn't think about that from a health perspective. I'm going to put that into my course, right? And I see that cross-pollination being so powerful, like helping people be the very best version of themselves. And so I feel like we have that amazing community. And yet in the actual cohort, it's very small. It's 10 or less. So talk about some of the intimacy. Now that we're talking about community, I want to bring it down to the intimacy from the standpoint of personal growth and fast track development that you see because the cohorts are small and because you have a pod that you're going through the certification with. Gina, I'd love for you to share.
Yeah, that is super powerful, super ideal for somebody like me. I could speak for myself right now that my go-to used to be, not so much because there's no way for me to do it, but used to be like, let me just sort of hide out. Let me just sort of like lean back and be the quiet one. Like, that's not happening here, right? That's not happening here because the groups are small and they're intimate. The beauty of it is that as an instructor, we do get our one-on-one time with them, even if it's in a group setting, right? Like we still get to pay individual attention, get feedback and listen and go back and forth. As a small group, the beauty of that is also that they get to support each other. That they get to help each other. Because of the way the program works, is they have many opportunities to work with each other. And they come, I know I've seen them come into the class just so grateful that they've had that opportunity to coach each other or practice with each other or just even be there for each other. So that's the beauty of it. And like Angela said, they go back into the bigger group and they interact with each other as well. It really is a really united, cohesive group. And so the bigger group and the small group, super powerful, to be able to we could sometimes just laser. Sometimes just laser on that one thing for one person, which obviously is beneficial for the whole group. Right. For the whole cohort. So
Angela, what power have you seen in this small pod structure where we're really seeing people, fast track together?
Look, these people, it's a group of 10 people who are together every single week for a year.
Yeah.
You get to know people when you are with them. And we say face-to-face, we're on Zoom.
Yeah.
When you're with those same people every week for a year, and you're talking about, you're working on your own transformation. So there's vulnerability and there's authenticity and there is no hiding.
Yeah.
Because we as the instructors won't let you hide, first of all.
But you don't want that anyway, even if you're shy.
Exactly.
Like Gina was that way. I mean, and ultimately, like she really, you know, so you can still be you. So don't worry, we're not going to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're going to be, oh, you can't hide in the corner. No,
Yeah.
It's not that. When I say that we won't let you hide, we're watching to see what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And really sensing what needs to come up. And if we, and even your cohort members, your small group members, your pod members will call out, look, what's going on?
Yeah.
I hear this.
Yeah.
Can you go a little deeper with that? Yeah. And it's just so beautiful to see the depth of the relationships that are being built over and over and over again, you know, because they're in that small group. So yes, we meet weekly, but they also do their own practicing together offline.
Yeah. Super powerful.
You know, so yeah, it is. It's incredibly powerful because how often outside of maybe a spousal relationship or a significant other relationship, do you have someone that you're sharing that much with that regularly?
Yeah.
And they're like
it's almost like a peer mastermind. That's how I see these. Like they don't start out that way because, you know, it's people trying to learn how to coach and grow your coaching business. But in that process, it almost becomes like this peer mastermind. I see them doing collaborations and summits and all of these things. I would love for you to share a little bit. And then I've got one more question as we wrap up, but I'd love for you to share how powerful is it to be in that small peer mastermind kind of feel as they're growing their business. I'd love for you to share that, Angela.
Yeah. What's great is that anytime any of them say, well, I just don't know if I'm ready to do this. Yeah. The rest of the group is in the chat or they're unmuting themselves saying, you are so ready for this. You are so ready for this. Yeah. There is no way you're not ready for this. So there's this constant cheering on, right? And support of whatever your vision is that you've been talking to during the whole time, because we do talk about your vision the whole time.
Yeah.
And just the whole community gets behind you and supports you in building out that vision.
Yeah.
And not just verbally. They'll hop on the phone and coach you through stuff. They will, like we talked about, being a guest on your summit, attending Facebook Lives that you're doing to make sure that the algorithm picks you up and sends you out more to the world. And, you know, so there's a lot of different ways that within the small group, they're so supportive of each other in building out their businesses. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see every day.
All right. As we wrap up, I'll go first just to give you a second to think about it, but I want you to share your top 2 from the neurocoaching certification business breakthroughs. So the business breakthrough, whether it's from start to grow or grow to scale, whatever like comes to your mind, your top 2, not top because we love them all. We love you all, but like the top 2 that come to mind. I can think of one person who came into the certification, was already very much a professional in the real estate industry, but was like, I don't even want to have to coach, but I know I have to because I'm dealing with people. So I'd like to know the right way to do it. And I want to grow my business. Right. And so that was kind of like the entry point for her. And now I've watched her, first of all, grow her business double what it was when she came into the certification. So in terms of just pure numbers, she's doubled her already 6-figure business, which was super powerful. But the fun thing is to watch her now getting really excited to coach other real estate agents to make transformations. She started a whole nother niche. She's growing a whole nother stream of income that she would have never predicted. But once she got in and learned how all this works, she got lit up by how simple the transformation really is if you follow the process. And in the process of that, created an entire another stream of income and doubled her business. So in essence, kind of tripled her business. And then I think of one other person who hadn't started, was still in the education space, but knew she wanted to make a difference, like knew she wanted to help teachers. She didn't know how to do it, but she knew that the science, like how to train her own mind, she wanted to learn that. And then she wanted to coach teachers to do that for their kids. Right. So that's how she came in. No clients, still getting, working in the educational system. And through the process of becoming a master certified neurocoach, she works part-time for our team. She works part-time for another coaching team. She also has her own coaching that's going to teachers. And it's just so fun to watch the visions expand. That's the reason why I was thinking about her, because the vision started like here. And a lot of times that's what happens. We start just in the spot that we're in, we start where we're at, and then it just starts to expand. And in fact, I think she's going to be, maybe she just was on the podcast or she's going to be, but we're opening up a cohort for teachers in the neurocoaching certification that she's going to lead, which is really, really cool, because can you imagine a world where kids actually learn that they're the creator of their thoughts and how to manage their thoughts? So those are two that come to mind. Gina, what came to mind for you? And hopefully I didn't steal yours.
No, there's so many. One of them that comes to mind, what stood out for me was the ease with which she created one-on-one clients, one after the other. I think at one point it was like 5 right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like immediately, just when she decided and said, I'm going to go out and get clients, boom, like immediately. And at the price that she really wanted. Yeah. Not only that, other things, without giving too many details away, but other things that she has made happen, we're talking estates.
Yeah.
Right? Not just a house, and an estate.
Yeah. Coach Launch Formula, we give level 1 right out of the gate for that reason. And that's been amazing to see. I know exactly what you're talking about. People who actually trust the process and follow that formula, that step-by-step formula, sell out their programs 100% of the time. Yeah. And so that was a lot of fun to watch, just and going from unbelief to belief, right?
She didn't have to do that thing that I think a lot of coaches think they have to do, where they're like, I'll start at this many dollars and then I'll increase to this many dollars and then I'll increase it. No, she just went for it. Yeah. And she got it. She made it happen. Right. And then what I've seen is there's several that I can think of right now where they completely did the thing where they jumped into coaching, completely did a 180 on their career. Yeah. Pivot completely. Yeah. And started with group coaching programs, successful group coaching programs. Awesome. Right off the bat, again, because they followed the formulas, right? Yeah. They followed
Love that. Oh, I love that so much. All right, Angela, how about you as we're wrapping up?
Yeah. So I have a couple quick ones. One, she was trying to figure out, her niche, and she was working in an environment where people are in a lot of pain, and she kept talking to that. And, as we continued to work on it, all of a sudden she got this big aha, and she starts talking to her ideal client in a way that actually connects with them. Right.
Right.
And she got this client the other day that isn't in the chronic pain that she normally focuses on, but this person, and a different gender than what she normally focuses on. Yeah. And I kept saying, just focus in, just focus in, just focus in. And as she worked on that, I was like, I promise it'll expand. And it did for her. And to see her understand now, see that light come on for her. Yeah. It's like, yes. Yeah. Because now she has that confidence to go out and continue, right? And to continue grow. Yeah. And then one other one, when she came in, she did not have a business. She had just gone through a big personal thing. And, every week it was like, I just don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do this coaching thing. I just don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do this coaching thing. I'm not enough. Who's going to want me to listen to them? On and on and on and on and on. Yeah. And she just started back in the January group. And just a few weeks ago, she came on the weekly call and she's like, I am a coach.
It's awesome.
I am a coach.
Yeah.
And that is just in and of itself a huge win. I mean, that is what a big mind shift. And now she has people coming to her asking her to speak at different events.
Yeah. Yeah. She
to
opened the
coach
possibility,
people at
right?
these different events.
Yeah. Wow. All right. You can tell this lights us up. Getting in that, one of the core things about the neurocoaching certification, it's not about you getting certified. That is part of the process, but it's about you getting to the finish line and then growing your business and then scaling your business and having a lifetime community that continues to cheer you on while you're doing that the fastest and easiest way possible. And that's the thing, we don't want you to struggle. We don't want you to have to try to figure it out on your own. We don't want you to try to find your own blind spots because you can't. I can't, Angela can't, Gina can't. That's why we stay in the groups together. And, if you've heard us talking and you're like, I'm ready to grow or I'm ready to scale and I need to know the right way to coach so that I stop this hamster wheel of trying to muster up the courage to hope my coaching will work. Let's be done with that. Let's know that no matter what the problem, what the issue, whatever's going on, whatever desired results, you're going to be able to get them to transform themselves through a very brain-based process. And let's grow your business. Let's stop giving it away for free. Let's stop having a hobby. Let's stop wishing and hoping that it eventually grows when you put in the time, because that is a broken automation that you don't even know that you have if you resonated with that. And let's start building a profitable business today, like from day one, because the people in the world that are waiting for you to step into your coaching business actually need you to step in. They're not going to coach with Gina or with Angela or with me. They're waiting for you. I am convinced of this. I've seen it over and over and over again. They're waiting. What are you going to do? You could stay kind of stuck, or you can really fast track by getting in this community, getting certified. And imagine, this is what we get to celebrate. June 15th, we have our graduation coming up. And I love graduations because we get to celebrate some of the biggest victories. Imagine you're sitting here and you're going through a celebration and you look back and everything has changed. You have all the profit you need. The bank account looks like it needs to look like. You're getting the freedom that you want, and you're making massive impact in the lives that you've always wanted to help. And because you said yes to you, right? It's not to us, it's not to the certification, it's to you. So this is your year. You're listening to this still because you know that still small voice is saying, this is the way, walk in it. And so we're here. Down in the show notes, we have the link to apply. Yes, it is an application-based process, first come, first serve. And you'll end up on a call with one of these two amazing ladies, and you'll get to know if it's right for you or if it's not. But don't try to continue to do the same things you've always done, thinking that eventually it'll work out, because the thinking that got you right where you are right now isn't the thinking that's going to get you to that next place. And we cannot wait to be that little support in your big trajectory to success. So guys, Gina, Angela, thanks for hanging out with me today and sharing some of these amazing stories of the neurocoaches that you get to work with.
Thank you. That was so fun. So great.
Yeah, loved it.
All right. All right. So we'll see you in the community. Make sure you click the link to apply, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Epic Success Podcast.